The NFL feels different now. Scoring is higher, games are wilder, and defenses just aren't the same as they used to be. Since the year 2000, NFL scoring has gone up almost 20%. Back in the early 2000s, hitting 50 points combined in a game was rare. And now it happens almost every week. Just looking at a few of the recent games, Packers and Cowboys, Rams and Chiefs, Ravens and Browns, and the Miami Dolphins dropping 70 on Denver, you can see there's a lot of chaos, but it's not an accident. Okay, to understand how we got here, we have to go back, way back, like to when the NFL wasn't even built for passing. Early NFL was a completely different game. Teams barely even passed the ball. In fact, you had to be 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage just to throw the ball. Incomplete passes, yeah, those were basically turnovers. And offenses could sometimes start 1 yard from the sideline. Player substitutions were basically non-existent, which means that all the players on offense, including the quarterback, would also play on defense. At this point, there's no face masks, there's no roughing the passer, and the championship isn't even decided by a championship. It's just decided by win percentage. Okay, in 1933, everything changed. The NFL actually split into divisions and held its first championship game, with the Bears beating the Giants 23-21. It was also the year of the first official NFL rulebook. The NFL broke away from college rules and developed its own rule. At this point, forward passes behind the line of scrimmage were legalized, and half marks were added so teams could run the ball without only having one side to run towards, and incomplete passes in the end zone stopped being turnovers. This was the start of the game we know and love today, but defenses were still kind of catching up. If we skip ahead to the 1970s, then that's where defense started to take off. Guys like Mel Blount could basically just mug wide receivers, and there wasn't a penalty called. Around this time, defense kind of dominated the game. Scoring was low, and the league needed a little bit more excitement. So in 1978, the NFL stepped in and introduced the illegal contact rules. This rule says that the defender can only contact the wide receiver within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, otherwise it becomes a penalty. Illegal contact is 5 yards and an automatic first down. This single rule changed the game forever. But at this point, defenses could still dominate. So what else changed? For many, this was the golden age of football. Even with a lot of contact rules, there were a lot of good defenses around this time. We saw the rise of some legendary defenses like the Legion of Boom, the No-Fly Zone, or the Bullies of Baltimore. It was an exciting time for football, and the average points per game were at about 20. But then, everything shifted again. Today, scoring is at an all-time high, and honestly, in 2025, it's been hard to pick a single team that has stood out. By week 5 of the 2025 NFL season, there were no undefeated teams left. That's something that hasn't happened since 2014. Why is this, you may ask? Well, the NFL isn't built for defenses anymore. Let me explain. In 2018, it became a foul if a player lowers the crown of his helmet to initiate contact. On top of that, there were multiple changes to roughing the passer, which made that penalty be called a lot more. In 2024, the hip drop tackle was banned. The penalty for that, 15 yards and an automatic first down. At this point, it's penalty overload on the DBs. On top of the 5-yard contact rule, there's defensive holding, pass interference, hands to the face, and the defenseless receiver rules. Basically, if you're a cornerback, well, good luck. You can't even touch the wide receivers anymore. My issue with this is it's not very consistent in when the refs call it. Honestly, I've seen some other people talk about this too, and I think the general consensus is just to let them play. And unless it's an egregious penalty, don't call the tiniest little things. But there's still one big reason why the NFL has changed from a defensive and run-first league to a high-scoring, explosive league, and I'll get to that in a second. But first, if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed because I'm coming out with more videos every few weeks. With the new kickoff, a lot has changed. Touchbacks have gone from the 20 to the 35. Defensive players can't even move until the ball is caught, which results in longer returns and on average about only 25 yards for the offense to make it into field goal range. On top of that, kickers are more accurate than ever. 50-plus yarders are basically routine kicks for them now. That's more points, more offense, and less defense. So why is this all happening? Well, the NFL wants action. They want highlight plays, long touchdowns, and big comebacks, not a 10-7 defensive masterpiece. I mean, let's be honest, it's entertaining, it's what sells. The NFL is a business, and obviously the NFL wants to make money. And what's going to get them more money? Well, more offense. Some people think it's a good change, and other people say that the NFL has gone soft. Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. With all that being said, there's one thing that's for sure. The NFL will never be the same again.